Good evening and welcome to the Gothic Bohemian Salon. This is Julifer. This is part 1 of my tattoo story. The very first tattoo that I got was one that I did on myself. I didn't go deep enough and the tattoo grew out of my skin, thank goodness, because it wasn't a very good one. And I don't think I'd want it now. Though maybe, I don't know. It was the Adam and the Ant symbol, the little arrow. And I did it right around here somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. I think when I turned my hand, it made the arrow move or something. Something silly like that. The first tattoos that I got, I did myself on my wrist here. You can see they're not very well done. There's a JD, what used to be a Star of David, a cross, and yeah, those are the first 3 tattoos that I ever got. And, or did, I guess I should say. I didn't know what I was doing, and they haven't aged particularly well. The JD you can still make out. The cross is okay. Star of David just kind of looks like a blob. Why did I pick those things, you might ask? Well, the JD stands for Joy Division, not juvenile delinquent, James Dean or Jack Daniels, as some people have surmised, but Joy Division. And at the time, Joy Division was an extremely important band to me. They still are. They were unlike anything else I'd ever heard, and the music spoke to me, as music often does. So I didn't want to write out Joy Division, so I put JD. I like to be a bit mysterious. After that, I got this tattoo. This is pretty out there. It's part of a drawing, which I will insert here. And the drawing was extremely important to me. It was one of the first drawings that I ever did in my own style, which is kind of unique style of drawing. I'll put some other drawings here. So that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I do portraits, and they're kind of like, I like to think of them as fractured faces, or faces seen from many different points of view at one time, because when I draw, I sort of look at the face from many different angles and try to draw all the angles at one time. Sort of. Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. Anyway, this tattoo on the back of my hand here has been a source of a lot of difficulty, particularly in the very beginning, and I've gotten compliments on it. I've gotten bad comments on it. A lot of both, really. People either really like it or they really hate it. I didn't really get it for anybody else, though, so I don't particularly care whether anyone likes it or hates it. So there's that. I did recently get it re-inked. It was never finished. I kind of like the way that it looks unfinished though, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to have any more work done on it or not. I really like what they did with it. If I have a picture somewhere showing the tattoo as it looked before it was re-inked, I will insert it here, and if not, I just won't. It might be any image that I have of the tattoo may be so old that it looks as new as the tattoo looks now, so there might not be a point. But in any case, it's an eye from a portrait, like I said, and the reason why I got the tattoo, particularly in the place that I got it on the back of my hand, well, part of the reason is because I wanted it on my palm. I had been drawing eyes in my palm ever since I was a tiny child, and I wanted to have the eye tattooed in my palm. But tattoo artists generally will not tattoo your palm. It's a very difficult place to tattoo. There's a lot of nerve endings, first of all. Second of all, it's very hard to get a tattoo to stay in the palm, to actually have the ink take. So they have to really grind it in there and go over it more than once, and a lot of tattoo artists just don't even want to bother. So I decided to get it on the back of my hand instead, and I was sworn to secrecy by the tattoo artist to never say who did it. Tattoos below the wrist, above the neck, and below the ankle used to be illegal in many places. I'm not sure of the legality now, but they were illegal in many places. I'm pretty sure that they were illegal in New York State, and I'm not sure about anywhere else, but or New York City, one of those places. Like I said, I'm not sure, but where I got it was in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, and obviously it wasn't illegal to tattoo below the wrist there. But the tattoo artist was sufficiently cognizant of the, let's say, negative connotations of getting a tattoo on the back of one's hand at the time, that he didn't want anybody to know that he'd done it. I was a little bit more naive. I figured it's my body, my tattoo, who's gonna care about it. Well, boy, was I wrong. Over this tattoo, I have been punched in the face, spit on, I've had my hand grabbed, I've had people yell at me. I had a boyfriend say that if I got any more tattoos, he'd break up with me. Well, that relationship didn't last very long. Yeah, it was, women didn't get tattooed when I got tattooed, unless they were part of a gang or in prison. So, women with tattoos, it was very controversial, very just not done at all. So I kind of went through a lot having this tattoo, and I sort of feel like I paved the way for all of you to get tattooed wherever the heck you want, because you're doing that. I've now seen, you know, women with tattoos on their faces, which is something that I wanted to do, and was talked out of because, you know, of the stigma and, you know, the chance of being a social outcast. Keep in mind that I got tattooed in 1982, this tattoo, and things were a lot different back then as far as tattoos, and women in tattoos particularly. It's just very taboo kind of a thing. It was considered ruining your natural beauty to be tattooed at all, actually, particularly in such a visible spot. So for many years I actually wore like fingerless gloves all the time. I had friends who didn't even know I had tattoos because I wore fingerless gloves all the time. Yeah, and long sleeves. So how do I feel about this tattoo now? I love this tattoo. I've always loved it. It's very much a part of me, and I wouldn't be me without it, honestly. Anyway, I don't know how much else that I can say about this tattoo. It is what it is, and take it or leave it, like it or not. It's part of me, and if you appreciate me, you'll appreciate the tattoo as well. And if you're going to get a tattoo, think about it long and carefully. A tattoo is a serious thing. It's not a fashion. It's not a whim. You know, it's going to be with you your whole life. Sure, there's probably going to be a lot of cheaper tattoo removal services out there in the next 10 or 20 years, so maybe you will get lucky and be able to remove it. But do you really want to do that? I mean, why bother if you're just thinking that it's not permanent? That's the whole point of a tattoo, is that it's a permanent thing. It's a commitment, and you should look at it that way. So it should be as serious as changing your name. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me in the Gothic Bohemian Salon. Remember, embrace the darkness. Good night.